So for real this time, we have a matchup between Equilibrium and Nutty Buddies. Ignore the previous video. Yeah. We sort of did it the first time, but let's just run down everything again, just so it's like on this video. So Equilibrium sitting at 2-2. Nice 8-8 split in games won and games lost. They're 40 goals for, 40 goals against. Millsy, most points, most everything, except Mitty. Mitty's leading in shooting percentage. And I know we're on the other side for Nutty Buddies. They've scored 40, but they've also let in only 22, and they also have, important things like this 0 matches lost. And Clamp Dog is just a beast. I'm assuming that Lynxes, when called upon, will more than do their share. But yeah. So yeah, that's where we stand. I know, very uninteresting, and we went into bigger detail, but here we are. So, before I forget, let's just turn on the overlay this time.
So now we have everything set up.
Yes, we have everything set up now.
Now Millsy and Midpoint are in here. Now the other team's in here. So we should be all right to get this going.
Yeah. That's all good. Okay.
Great 1v1 series, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's great.
It beats just kind of the randos that you run up against. Okay. All right, here we go. It's fine. So, Nutty Buddies on the blue side, Equilibrium on the orange side. This is a 2v2 matchup in the West region, Tier 2. And the workhorse of the Buddies, Clamp Dog, got one 6 seconds in.
And Andrew, I feel that he's not going to be lighting up this game. Clamp did look to be the powerhouse of the team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, Lynx is more than capable as well. With the dunk.
As we see right there, he definitely is more than capable of getting some shots in, dunking Millsy right in front of the net, sending it in, making it 2 up only 20 seconds into the match.
Man, 10 out of 10. I approve that dunk.
It's going to be a tough matchup for Equilibrium here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, in a way, Twos kind of has that ones component to it, where, we're not even 30 seconds in and there's 3 goals. Clamp kind of missing there off the back wall and causes a pinch. Goes right out to Millsy.
Just in the correct position to send that one into the net. Good positioning there by Millsy. 2-1, like you said, only 30 seconds into the match.
Nice flick from Clamp.
Millsy with the double touch, sending it into his own net. I have to admit, that would have been a great shot on the other net.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the best goals you score are on your own name. On net. Clip that, Millsy, for the whoops of the week.
Yeah, that was good. Hopefully we see more of that from Millsy on the blue net this time.
Yeah, I even if we get theoretically 15 minutes, like, I don't know. This will be entertaining at least. Midpoint with the ender flick.
Link's getting past both of them. Mostly kind of shoving him out of the way, gaining possession. Trying to get it over dog, but not able to get the flick.
It's a good clear.
This definitely needs to be cleared out of the equilibrium half as Link sends it into the right side of the net, making it 4-1 a minute and a half into the game. Just a lot of offensive pressure there from the blue side.
Yeah. Nutty, but he's kind of pouring it on right now. Equilibrium can't even forfeit. Now they can. Oh, nice save from Clamp.
It's a great save. Nutty with the pass. Clamp there to intercept. Link sending it out. Clamp still on. Sends it over. Mitty there. In the beginning, I thought it was just going to be Clamp that was going to be providing most of the carry, as you would say. But Link's here is really showing up right now.
Yeah, I think sometimes it just works out that way in twos. Oh, what a bomb from Clamp.
That was a great bump on a Mitty from Clamp.
My barely applicable ones experience says that Mitty was way too far out there in that shadow defense. And most of that knowledge I picked up within the last half hour.
There's just so much offensive pressure from the Nutty Buddies here. Can't help but look at the EQ team, and it just makes them awkward. They don't know how to keep up with the offensive pressure. As that gets sent back mid.
Well, oh,
that
was dangerous.
Yeah, that was very dangerous, Andrew.
Links with the. Okay, well we've managed to equalize the own goal, so you know.
We may need an own goal counter for the series here.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll keep mental note that it's 2.
I'll make sure to keep good note of it. Don't worry. Good pass out to Millsy, but Clamp there to intercept. It's just EQ really needs to keep it on their side because defensively it looks like Nutty Buddies is not able to keep up as well as they can offensively. And with them putting on this offensive pressure, it just puts them into a bad situation.
Yeah.
Millsy sending it to the left side of the net, making it 5-3.
So definitely time for EQ to come back, but also plenty of time for Nutty Buddies to score like 4.
You never know with twos.
Yeah.
In twos, one team could be dominating the first half, scoring 6-7 goals, and let up the next half and lose.
I want to know who those teams are because I never played them in IGL.
I've ran into quite a few during my ranked matches, I'll say that.
Well, that's ranked. That doesn't count.
Yeah, ranked is pretty messed up.
Nice challenge there from Lynx. That card's gonna mess me up all night.
Is that the endo?
It's more of the decal choice.
Oh,
But it is an endo.
The bronze.
Yeah.
Bronze
Earlier,
wheels.
that dangerous challenge messed me up because I'm like, ooh, is that an EQ card? And I'm like, oh wait, no, that's actually Link's. I should be paying attention to the bottom left hand. It's corner of the screen sometimes too. That's a nice play from Link's.
Yeah, great touch there to send it underneath the last defender. 9 seconds left. It looks like Nutty Buddy's going to be able to take the first game.
Yeah. I think EQ for their part is going to need to. Let's just be blunt. Need to solve this defensive pressure or this offensive pressure. I don't know. I don't know like what I can suggest from for armchair quarterbacking for Nutty Buddies, because even if they have possible defensive issues, it doesn't really seem to matter when you score a bunch of goals. And I know that's like really insightful and almost John Madden-ish, but like it's really the truth. When you can double up on your opponent, who cares about defense?
Right, yeah.
And
If EQ can figure out this offensive pressure coming towards them, then they can come back with their own offense because they are two good offensive players. It's just on defense it does look like they're struggling.
by the way, man, Lynx is getting like a ton of approval from me. Makes a car switch, switching to the distro.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, the distro.
No, you don't see it at all.
Wait, is that a distro?
Yeah, that's a distro. Oh no, it might be the. Is that the Imperator?
It might be. I think it is. We're more worried about what Lynx's car choice is rather than the game at hand. I'm curious now. I don't know what it is.
I think it actually might be. What a save!
Great save there.
So, this is an improvement for EQ. Yes, so we're at the forfeit mark. It is scoreless.
They're not down by 3 this time.
Yeah. So, definite improvement. But
Let's just hope they can keep it up.
yeah, I think the problem is that still just like control this game has been all in Nutty Buddy's favor. I say that as there's a team goal right there. Millsy does all the work. Oh, nope, beats Midpoint. Midpoint tries to steal it, but can't.
Mitty bumps Millsy into a descended underneath of Lynx. I got to admit, that's a great team play right there. Very dangerous, but...
Yeah. Double commits don't matter if you put the ball in the net.
That's my logic right there.
It's not sound logic, but... Nice save from Clamp. Oh. That's tough for Lynx. Midpoint almost drops it into Clamp.
Pass out mid. Millsy's not there. Sends Lynx up into the ceiling. I always love when that happens, Xander.
Well,
It's fun to watch.
I say object 1 is always the ball, but object 2 should be your opponent. And on a challenge, you need to get one of them. Most of the time. In front of your net, it's a different story. Then there's only one target. What a save from Lynx.
Great save.
Keeping this at a 1-goal game.
It is still unfamiliar territory for the Nutty Buddies. This is the first time that they have been down so far.
Yeah. I think EQ might have also sped up their game a little too here.
They definitely have a lot more possession, more control, and are just there to put the shots into the net. As I say that, Mitty comes through and grabs a really nice angle off of Clamp's misclear. It's just a great goal there.
Man, like, I just saw that in the replay, and it looks like, I don't know if that's really a mistouch, because it feels like Clamp did everything correct there. It just, I don't know, it feels just like the minute difference in angle. Because that looked like it hit the front of Clamp's car. Like the bumper. And not like the top of the car. But it just still came out weird.
Either way, it got sent straight towards Mitty, and he was just able to put it right into the net.
And they did get 1 goal off of another Clamp miscue in game 1. But Nutty Buddies were able to, again, just apply pressure, but it's kind of like the script is sort of been flipped. I'm not entirely sure. It feels like EQ might have had the most pressure, but I would also say that it wasn't like what the Nutty Buddies had in game 1.
No, definitely not, but it was enough to win game 2. Speaking of game 2, Andrew, we never did our predictions.
Oh yeah. I am not going to change anything. I'm going to stick with what I did in what will now be tentatively titled Casters Messing Around. I'm going to predict Nutty Buddies in 4. You can go verify that. I actually thought I might have said 3 or 4 just because it kind of lines up, but I also wouldn't have been surprised at the sweep. But I felt that this was Nutty Buddies in 4 was the worst possible scenario for them.
You know, I had a bit of a different opinion before the game started. I was actually thinking that EQ was going to take it in 5. You know, I may be a bit biased there, but I think they have it. They are very adaptable when it comes to playing against opponents.
By the way, I might have
sticking
been
with that.
I will say I might have been wrong about game 2, because the Nutty Buddies only did have 1 shot on net. So,
now, is that just possession coming from the EQ side, or do you think just bad play coming from the Nutty Buddies there?
I mean, it might have also just been like a bunch of ping pong. Because I didn't feel like EQ had a lot of the offensive zone control. You know, they put shots in. You know, they did make Nutty Buddies work for some of the saves, but that was it though. The Nutty Buddies made a tremendous save, but there was not anything. It's just here's a save, like something you might see in a threes game. So, it just might have been more of, just the ping pong possession game. Lynx with another car change goes to an Octane.
It makes me wonder if he's just going to switch it up every game now.
I mean, if you've got 5 presets, they give us 20.
Oh no, Millsy.
Millsy. Now that last shot by Millsy, that was difficult because midpoint was directly in front of net, falling. Counterattack coming here from Nutty Buddies.
Goes off the top post.
Oh! Nutty Buddies auditioning for clangers. Oh, nice block from Clamp. No follow, though. That's kind of hard, though, for Lynx to come all the way across the field for that. Clamp gets it around one. Could not get around midpoint, though. Lynx with the partial block.
Something that I do like coming from the EQ side is that they are taking a lot more time with the ball. And they are setting up more plays, they're passing to one another, and that's something that I love to see.
Yeah, they were very uncoordinated in game one is probably the generous term.
I'm just glad that they were able to clean up for both game 2 and game 3 now. 0 goals, minute 30 left. They definitely stopped what the Nutty Buddies had during game 1.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to do the ender approach to ones. Well, Millsy with an air dribble, but the ball was too high. It's a good effort. Oh, double commit.
We almost added another tick onto the own goal counter there. That was very close on behalf of Lynx.
Man, I feel like EQ should have punished that. Nutty Buddies got away with one.
Definitely so.
So approaching 30 to go. Midpoint misses the open net.
No.
Good clear from Lynx. That's a great counterattack from the Nutty Buddies. Nice flick from Clamp. Gets Millsy on the backboard to miss. And Lynx sends it near side.
Just placed it right behind Midi there. There was nothing that midpoint could have done to save that.
I mean, he could have taken the chirp method to defending from the far post. I'm just giving Midi shit. I mean, he could have stayed on the post and given up the far side. But I mean, also, like, shout outs to Lynx. Like, that was some pretty good placement too.
It was very good placement. Game 3 going to the Nutty Buddies.
So a close affair. So sorry, doing the old save replay and trying to remember everything.
So the series is now Nutty Buddies 2 to Equilibrium 1.
Yes, because for some reason I can't hit the proper keys on my keyboard.
It does seem like a great matchup, though. Close games after game 1.
Yeah, I don't know if I still like EQ in a shootout, though. I mean, it's kind of like they're gonna have to prove it. Lynx back on the endo.
So he is going to change up his car every single game of this series. That's always fun to see.
I mean, Lynx is even like changing body types too, or hitboxes, I should say.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
With the last match, seeing multiple open nets not being scored on from the EQ side. They had a lot of opportunities there, but they just didn't capitalize.
Yeah, whereas, funnily enough, like I think Nutty Buddies were kind of calculated with their chances and, took it when they could. Didn't really try and rush anything. And, it paid off in that counterattack goal. Which I feel like is also just kind of like, textbook goal. You just kind of throw it on and make the defender miss, and then your teammates are to clean everything up. Although I'm right now thinking this is looking very reminiscent of Game 1. Even though Nutty Buddies haven't scored, EQ's just kind of throwing the ball away.
Yeah, they look very awkward. Not a lot of possession for them. Passes are not going where they need to be.
There's 2 up for Nutty Buddies. That's dangerous. Getting it out of there. Lynx wins the challenge. Ball comes in front.
It's 1-0. Nutty Buddies 2 equilibrium.
Lynx was just fast at that ball.
Nitty with the challenge, not able to get up there faster than Lynx. I mean, he was last back there too, so might have been a dangerous challenge there, but
yeah. And the game was scoreless, so, obviously we can second guess all we want. That's part of this job, actually, but, as I like to say, do not panic. There'll be plenty of time for that later. Even right now, there's not, even with the 2 close games, they did win game 2 and lost game 3, but
the overcommit from EQ puts them down now 2-0. Mitty just went up for the shot, but Clamp was already there to send it right over him.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we do have 2 instances in the series of Clamp kind of messing off the backboard, but Clamp has also, like, shown that, when they get their touches right, like,
Nice goal there from Mitty.
mostly working on Lynx. Not much Lynx can do there. Like, the fact that Lynx saved the initial touch is great. That's really all you can ask for. Just try and get yourself into position to make a second save, but miss hit. And by miss hit, I mean that hit was missed. And Lynx.
No. What happened?
Millsy missed a touch. I don't know if it would have been a goal, but it was a chance. And Lynx just with the solo effort there.
Millsy lost all his momentum demoing the opposing player there. Was not able to be back for that save. Oh, I'm getting pretty tired over here, Ander. It's 1 a.m. here.
Yeah. But if this goes 5, we have to cast it.
I mean, you do. I can quit. I'm co-casting.
Well, sure. What is Midpoint doing? Very rarely do I do that on cast, but I just literally, like, had a WTH moment right there. Well, we're not completely ready to panic, but we're getting close. EQ need 2.
Oh, and a great dunk from Millsy, making it 1 down with 48 seconds left.
Nice air dribble there.
I
Yeah,
believe
that's
the
a nice.
touch of length. Whew. It's
I
beautiful there, Ander.
I can tell you that's tough to save.
I can tell you that too. I've went against Millsy my fair share of times.
I mean, again, I'm just talking about tonight. I screwed up a lot of those tonight. Well, approaching 30 to go. EQ down by 2. Or not down by 2, down by 1. I can numbers.
We can map. Midi trying to send that mid. I do have to say, being on a team with EQ. Oh, Millsy!
Wow.
Able
Millsy.
to get a finalizer. Maybe even the goal needed to send this game into overtime.
Ah, I see what happened there. So, I know that all too well. So Clamp came down off the wall, but was not going to challenge. Lynx just didn't see Clamp up, so went instead. Had a double commit there at the end, basically. Well, Nutty Buddies score. They win in 4. EQ score, we get a game 5.
I wish the best of luck for both teams right now. Both of them are probably pretty nervous at this point. And with that shot right there, that
Just what a shot. Just what a shot.
Great shot. Sending it right over top of Millsy.
Millsy was pretty much positioned correctly there. But I mean, that was a heck of a shot from Clap. He just put so much speed on it. Millsy almost had to pre-jump that basically at that point.
That would have been a very tough save to get.
Yeah, but so I guess I was right in my Gibbs' guessing edition for once.
Mine might have been a bit biased, but
brings my record to like 1 in 5 for the week or something like that. Oh.
Ah, that's sad.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. Well, we'll do a quick recap here, and then probably all of us are going to bed. But,
A tough team for Equilibrium to face.
yeah. I mean, you know, EQ did give them a lot to handle. But you know, I this is how I looked between the most 2 recent matches, the Scarlet Scorpions match and the EQ match. I think with just like the dynamics of 2, like Nutty Buddies look really good out there. They just kind of just need to watch those double commits. But I mean, like they look everything like a really good, like every bit of a really great 2's team. You know, they were fast, you know, and granted I might be a little biased, but I mean, you know, EQ did look, you know, they gave him a lot to handle, but they just looked a little slow out there, like a bit slower than Nutty Buddies, and I think ultimately, like, you know, they also committed more mistakes, and you know, like Nutty Buddies just kind of punished them. Like when EQ made mistakes, the Nutty Buddies did kind of punish them.
Yeah, they were there. They were positioned correctly for their mistakes. Like I said, tough team.
Yeah, it's a really tough team, but you know, a lot to learn from there. So I'm showing the recap on stream. Game 1 went to Nutty Buddies. It was not close. 6-3 thrashing, with Nutty Buddies having a majority of the offensive zone time. EQ did respond in game 2, 2-0. That was based on what I saw. That was very, very uncharacteristic for Nutty Buddies. But again, kudos to EQ there in game 2, just bringing it to them. Game 3 was a 1-0 affair that went in favor of Nutty Buddies. We kind of got back and forth in game 4, but we saw there at the end. Just man, that was good air dribble from Clamp, and just hit that really, really well, really hard, and got by Millsy. In OT.
That would be a tough save.
Yeah, that was a really tough save. If I had to break that down, the only thing I could suggest to Millsy was pre-jumping, and that's never advisable. So, it's kind of like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, Nutty Buddies take that in 4, advance to 5-0. EQ falls to 2-3. 2-3, I believe. But I think since it's out west, there may be a chance it's not full division. I haven't actually looked at it. But really, all EQ has to do is just go out and win and hope for the best.
Yeah, I wish both teams the best of luck with continuing on.
Yeah, and Millsy in chat just said, I said to Minnie, yeah, man, I don't think I can get this one. That's fair. I mean, sometimes you just get beat, sometimes you're just like, well, I'm just going to look at this ball and watch it go into net, and there isn't anything I can do about it, Kudos to my opponent.
So you said in the beginning of, not of the stream, but the beginning of the replays, that I can't even talk, man. You talked about the Scarlet Scorpions, and I do have to say there was a lot of
similarities.
Can I give up? There was a lot of similarities between the Scarlet Scorpions game and the EQ game.
Yeah, I just think that I think like the difference in twos here, like I just think that in a way it's sort of like EQ was sort of in it, but also like sort of not. And then the Scorpions game, they were just never in it. But like their opponents sort of let them hang around in that game 3, whereas here again, this isn't like a diss against EQ here. Sometimes it's just you run into the better team and you get beat. There were some mistakes made, but like kind of in a way, it's almost like EQ kind of beat themselves. Like they just didn't put away the opportunities in game 3. And again, like just the counterattack from Nutty Buddies, that's all they needed to take game 3.
Right.
And it in a way it was like, again, it sort of felt like it was there. But it's always there's always you're just kind of waiting for that other shoe to drop, and again with Clamp's air dribble in overtime, it's just like that's kind of what was like. Internally, I felt like that's kind of what's always hanging over this game is, this just, these unstoppable plays that showed up in game 1. So, in a way, it's like maybe it's just EQ just needs to focus on, cleaning everything up and just trying to keep the mistakes to a minimum, and and then Millsy. then Millsy can start doing his fancy stuff. You know, and I can throw shade because I know both Millsy and Midpoint are watching, but even though I'm not really throwing shade, I just like it just felt like this is the case of just like, you know, the Nutty Buddies were just like the better team, and there's no shame in this result. And you know, EQ just went out and gave them all that they could handle, but you know, came out on you know, just came out on the wrong side of things. But like that was gonna happen. You know, so you know, if they figure out what went wrong in game one, you know, and just kind of look at what they did in games 2, 3, and 4, like, you know, those were close. One of them was a victory. You know, and just see the margins of error, you know, correct that, and then come back in week 6 and just win, and you know, hope for that playoff spot, hope for that playoff life. And then, you know, same thing, Nutty Buddies, you know, you did have a couple double commits, you know, just look at you know, the few mistakes that you made, and just, you know, work on your side as well. Just make sure that, you know, you don't commit those as well, and like, you know, go into week 6 and just go crush your opponent and get one of those top seeds. You know, funny enough, that's kind of what I said last night with the Scorpions match. So yeah, sorry if I rambled. For two people who said that they probably should be getting to bed.
It's 1 a.m. for me, so
yeah, I think I got somewhere to be in like 9 hours. So
I got somewhere to be in 5.
So. Okay, so we should wrap this up. So yeah,
that's a great game though.
Yeah, that's a good series. Congratulations again to Nutty Buddies, winning in 4. Again, just a quick reminder, coming up tomorrow, my ones match 4:15 p.m. Rumble for Fun 9 p.m. and then Clangers at 10 p.m. Clangers is probably the only thing that's not being broadcast. We'll see. But I mean, you know, who knows? They're all last minute decisions, but that'll go ahead and do it. So everyone, thank you all for watching. Kiffy, thanks for joining me again.
Thanks for having me. I'm in love with doing this, man.
Yeah, and secret alert, we might have a rotation developing here somewhere, but we'll solve that off air. Everyone, thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next time. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.